Okay, friends. So, good afternoon to everyone. I hope you are all fine at your home. Yeah. And yesterday I started a new chapter, People as a Resource, and it's a very interesting one in which some stories are also there, right? And today the story is about, I told you about the Sakal story. I told you, and that little bit outline of the Sakal story, and then which we will go for Vilas story. So first all, I told you that you should read it, both of it. So here is the story now. There were two friends, Vilas and Sakal, living in the same village, Simapur. सीमापुर के अंदर दो फ्रेंड्स रहा करते थे जिसका नाम विलास था एक का नाम साकाल था एंड आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट साकाल वाज आई जस्ट रिकैप्चुलेटिंग यू व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय रिसोर्स साकाल ने कैसे अपने रिसोर्सेज को यूज किया बिकॉज नाउ आई हैव द टाइम आई एम डिस्कसिंग विद यू साकाल कितने को साल का था जस्ट 12 इयर्स का था और उसकी मदर जो शीला थी वो घर का काम करती थी और इसके पापा जो बूटा चौधरी थे एंड हिज वाज एन एग्रीकल्चर वर्क इन एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड साकाल हेल्प्ड हिज मदर साकाल जो थे अपने ही यूज्ड टू हेल्प हिज मदर in her job also and he looked after his younger sibling like G2 and sister C2 also. His uncle Shyam had passed the matriculation examination but was sitting idle in the house as he had no job. Bhuta and Sheila were eager to teach Sakal. Sakal को पढ़ाना चाहते थे and they forced him to join the village school which he soon joined. He started studying and completed his higher secondary examination and his father persuaded him to continue his studies. He raised a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in computers. Sakal was meritorious. Sakal काफी meritorious था, intelligent था and interested in studies from the beginning. With the great vigor मतलब पूरे enthusiasm के साथ पूरे जोश खरोश के साथ उसने क्या किया अपने अपने कोर्स को कंप्लीट किया और आई टोल्ड यू यस्टरडे दैट उसने एक कंपनी में उसको कंप्यूटर ऑपरेटर की जॉब भी मिल गई कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामर की जॉब भी मिल गई एक प्राइवेट फर्म में और वहां पे उसने एक नए सॉफ्टवेयर को डिजाइन किया जिसमें उस कंपनी के मार्केटिंग में उस सॉफ्टवेयर ने काफी बड़ी मदद की उनको काफी अच्छा मुनाफा हुआ देन व्हाट हैपेंड that the company also recognized his job. When you do some good job in your company, sometimes company also recognize you. तो उसने उसको प्रमोशन दिया और उसकी सैलरी के अंदर एनहांस हुआ एनहांस का मतलब बढ़ होती है नाउ here is a story another story before I go to the another story I want to say two things in the story you will find one A is Sakal B is Vilas right A is Sakal B is Vilas see the posture of Sakal how he's standing having a jeans and jackets and a shirt and goggles and the posture of how he's standing is the full confidence he's leaning on with to a tree right and he's looking at his childhood friend Vilas तो विलास का हाल देख लो क्या है विलास इसने स्टडी की है कंप्यूटर में प्रोग्रामर है गॉट एनहांसमेंट्स in his study also how is standing then he see Vilas is looking with very great surprise कि कैसे उसका दोस्त बदल गया है उसके सामने एक ना टोकरी पड़ी है जिसमें फिश पड़े हुए हैं जिसमें वो मार्केटिंग फिश की मार्केटिंग करता है and he is asking something and he from the clothes itself Sakal is looking a good rich man compared to another one his childhood friend. Now let's go for the story of Vilas. Vilas, an 11-year-old boy residing in the same village. जिसमें Sakal रहता था वहाँ पे विलास भी रहता था as Sakal. Vilas' father Mahesh was a fisherman. His mother passed away when he was only 2 years old. His mother Geeta sold fish to earn money to feed the family. She brought fish from the landowner's pond and sold it on the nearby mandi. She could earn only 150 rupees a day. Right? Story of Vilas को पढ़ रहा हूँ. Yeah. Right. 150 a day for selling a fish. Vilas become a patient of arthritis. Arthritis क्या होती है? हड्डियों की बीमारी. His mother could not afford to take him to the doctor. He could not go to the school either. He was not interested in studies. He helped his mother in cooking, and also looked after his younger and brother Mohan. After some time, his mother fell sick, and there was no one to look after her. There was no one in family to support them. Vilas too was forced to sell fish in the same village. Vilas को भी काफी गरीबी था, जैसे his friend was there, but he gave way. तो वो उसने पढ़ना छोड़ दिया, और he used to go with his father to sell fish and all. So he, like his mother, earned only a meager income. और माँ की तरह से ही वो थोड़ी बहुत इनकम करता था. In these two cases, study, we saw Sakal went to school and Vilas did not go. सबसे पहले हम इस केस स्टडी में क्या पढ़ेंगे कि साकाल तो स्कूल गया, विलास नहीं गया. Now, this is the school. School is very important. School is very important. Then, in the school, what you do? You do studies. So, studies are also very important. Studies are also very important. Sakal was physically strong and healthy. There was no need for him to visit the doctor frequently. Vilas was a patient of arthritis. He lacked the means to visit the doctor. Vilas जो था वो बहुत कमजोर था, डॉक्टर के पास वो जा नहीं सकता था, आर्थराइटिस का पेशेंट था. राइट. उसके इनकम बहुत कम थी, तो बट उसने कोई ज्यादा पढ़ने में मेहनत नहीं की. Sorry. He lacked the means to visit the doctor. Sakal acquired a degree in computer programming. Sakal ने computer programming में डिग्री हासिल की. Sakal found a job in private firm while Vilas, continued with the same work as his mother. He earned a meager income like his mother to support his family. जो साकाल के जो पापा थे उनकी डेथ हो गई थी. राइट. मदर के साथ वो जाता था, फिश मार्केट में जाता था, और फिश मार्केट में वो फिश बेचता था. In the case of Sakal, several years of education added to the quality of labor. This enhanced his total productivity. Total productivity adds to the growth of the economy. This in turn you know, plays an important role. Plays an individual through salary in some other form of his choice. So basically, यदि हम दोनों को कंपेयर करें, साकाल और विलास के इस केस स्टडी को कंपेयर करें, तो we will find that earlier both of them from poor families. Both of them from poor family. But Sakal went to the higher education, and he got the education. So education is one of the best resource to fetch you better life in the future. याद रखो, एजुकेशन बहुत जरूरी है आपको किसी मुकाम तक पहुंचाने के लिए. बहुत जरूरी है एजुकेशन. The thief in the book also, the story also, from the same economic group, one went up to get the degree of in computers, getting the good job, getting the good salary. Another one, he didn't go for studies and selling the fish. In case of Vilas, there could not be any education, I told you just now, or health care in the early part of his life. He spent his life in selling fish like his mother, and fourth, he draws a very same unskilled labor as his mother. So this is a labor. There are two types of labor. I am also a labor. I'm a skilled labor. Giving the education, degree in education also. So what he says, that you should specialize in one thing. You know, MBBS doctors होते हैं, Master of Medicine and Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, MBBS. आपको पता है MBBS का फुल फॉर्म क्या होता है? Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery. So this is MBBS. तो MBBS करने के बाद उनको एक डिग्री और मिलती है, किसमें स्पेशलाइजेशन होना चाहिए. कोई हार्ट में होता है, कोई आइज में होता है, कोई लंग्स में होता है, कोई कैंसर का कैंसर स्पेशलाइजेशन होता है, कोई बहुत देर आर मेनी, राइट. सो these things are specialization. So, so you should go for study first, then specialization first. You want to be an engineer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a businessman. So depends on you. But main thing is study. You have to go for the study. So what is this? What is this? This is investment in human resource. So उनके parents ने क्या किया? Investment in human resource. Human resource के अंदर investment किया. Via education and medical care can give high rates of return in future. So medical care आपको high rate of return future में देती है आपको. And land in capital. A child too with investments made on her education and health can yield a high return in the future in the form of higher earnings. Suppose, इसका मतलब मैं आपको example देता हूँ. Suppose now you are studying. Tomorrow you are in 10th class, plus 1, plus 2, you know, you go for the college, you go for the commerce, you go for the science, whatever you do. Then you specialize in your own subject. Then you get the good job. Then when you get the good job, your salary is good. When your salary is good, you enhance yourself. You enhance your personality. Right? So so high a return in future is a form of high earnings and greater contribution to the society. तो आप society के लिए भी कुछ कर सकते हो. You can give little free education to a needy child also. यदि आप अच्छे income कर रहे हो तो वो आप किसी को भी आप पढ़ा सकते हो. Isn't so? Suppose you are getting good salary. So you can give some type of money to a needy child so that he can buy books, pencil, stationery, give his the fee. This is helping to the society. Society ने आपको help किया कुछ बनने के लिए. अब आप उसको return भी तो करोगे. Return तब करोगे ना जब आप कुछ पढ़ लिख जाओगे. Right? So educated parents are found to invest more heavily on the education of their child. अब यहाँ पे कि आपके पेरेंट्स आपको पढ़ा रहे हैं, they know the meaning of education, so they are investing in you, through education. The parents are found to invest more heavily. वो अब सब कुछ देते हैं आपको पर ताकि आप अच्छे से पढ़ लिख जाओ on the education of their child. This is because they have realized the importance of education for themselves. I'm not saying that everyone parents are educated, but every parent wants that the child should be educated. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हर बच्चे के माँ बाप educated हो, पर हर माँ बाप ये चाहता है कि उसके बच्चे educated हो जाए, right? So they know the importance of education for themselves. They are also conscious of proper nutrition and hygiene. अब आपके पेरेंट्स आपको अच्छा खाना देते हैं. Why they give you good food? They say don't eat market food. They used to say no. Why? Because they knew the value of nutrition and hygiene. They accordingly look after their children need for the education and school and good health. A virtuous cycle is thus created in this case. In contrast, a vicious cycle may be created by disadvantaged parents who themselves uneducated and lacking in hygiene, keeping their children in a similar disadvantaged state. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि सभी एक जैसे ही. Parents कुछ अनपढ़ होते हैं. They are unable to think in large way. Right? They are unable to think in enhanced way. So वो भी वही करते हैं जो they are doing it. So this is another part. This is another part. You know, parents parents give the support to the children. Sometimes they are unable to give the support to their children. Right? So countries like Japan have invested in human resource. Japan. Just give me 1 minute time. Yeah, here. Countries like Japan. I came over here, I was just searching the screen. Yes. Countries like Japan have invested in human resource. They did not have any natural resources. जापान में कोई natural resource नहीं है. Surrounded by sea, surrounded by the sea, right? So these countries are developed rich. They import the natural resource needed in their country. How did they become rich and developed? They invest in the people, especially in the field of education and health. Japan, like they have invested in the people, their citizens. In which area? In the education and in the health. These people have made efficient use of their resources. और इन लोगों ने क्या किया? उनके पास जो भी रिसोर्स थे उनको उन्होंने यूज किया. Resources. They're like Japan. Japan is, little bit mineral resources are there, surrounded by sea. Seafood is there, and lots of things they used to import. But whatever resources they have, they invest in the two things. In basically two things. One is education. Japan's education is very tough. Education is one of the best education in Japan. That's why in science and technology, Japan is the best. Right. So they invested in education and health also. Health में भी उन्होंने बहुत सारा invest किया. These people have made efficient use of their resources like land and capital efficiently, and the technology evolved by people have made these countries rich and developed. So इसलिए क्या हुआ? मे बी उनके पास रिसोर्सेज नहीं थे, पर उन्होंने इम्पोर्ट किया रिसोर्स को, उसको फिनिश्ड गुड्स में बदला. देन दे एक्सपोर्ट इट. They import raw materials, they convert into the finished material, finished good, and they export it. And they were the best. It is said the Japanese technology is one of the best technology in the world. Right. Then we have got the economic activities by men and women. There are two types of things. One is economic activity, one is non-economic activity. But activities is there. Activity मतलब काम करना. For example, there is a doctor. I'm just giving an example so that you can differentiate between economic activity and non-economic activity. Basically, in the labor now, जिसमें आपको पैसा मिलता है वो economic activity. जिसमें आपको पैसा नहीं मिलता वो non-economic activity. For example, a doctor is treating the patient. He is getting the money. After treating the patient, he is getting the money from the patient's pocket. That is economic activity. But the same doctor, if he's taking his own people in his home, that is activity. But it is non-activity. But because he's not charging from this, understood it. So this is economic activity and non-economic activity. Like Vilas and Sakal, people have been engaged in various activities. We saw that Vilas sold fish and Sakal got a job in the firm. I told you earlier. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors. That is primary activity, secondary activity, and tertiary activity. There are three types of activities: primary activities, secondary activities, tertiary activities. For example, primary activities, your agriculture is a primary activity. It's a basic thing, basics. Your primary school, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 1, 2, 3, right? And more primary activity, pre-nursery, they used to go and sit in the school, how to eat, how to talk, how to walk. Right, that's the primary activity. Then secondary, then senior classes are coming up, slower study and basically, right? Then your tertiary, जब आप काम करते हो field के अंदर, tertiary activity. that is transport is a tertiary activity. So primary sector includes, अब यहाँ पे no, I told you just the agriculture. Primary sectors are include agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, farming, mining, quarrying, manufacturing is included in the that is in the primary activity. In the secondary activity, the secondary first is primary, put the one number, mark one, mark two in secondary sector, trade, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services, insurance. These are secondary activities. And the secondary, the activity in the sector results in the production of goods and services. Secondary activity में क्या होता है? Production of goods and services होता है. These activities add value to the national income, and these activities are called economic activities. These activities, secondary activities, also called economic activities. Economic activities have two parts: market activity and non-market activity. So, market activities involve remuneration to anyone who perform, that is activity performed by the pay or profit. These include production of goods, services, include of government services. Non-market equity are those production of self-consumption. Self-consumption. So these are the economic activity and non-economic activity, market activity, non-market activity. So these are the things. So you have to go for the studies so that you continue with the studies. You read it, and do it, right? And whatever, so basically whatever I have done, you continue with this one.